you know, 20, 30 minutes into the game. But I don't think that's a bad thing when you already have Magnus and Slark as your primary damage dealers. And the 5-position Pango is actually a really smart pick against a hero like KOTL. You look at the T1 lineup. If they don't chrono the rolling Pango, the 5-position, he's just going to gun straight for this KOTL. And KARL, I think, is going to be the man to watch. We've seen this exact matchup go the KOTL's way, but I think that's typically just because you just outfarm. Purge did a breakdown watching 9 lane against a mag. You just farm easy camps and out GPM.
Yeah, just feels like both heroes pretty much farm away. They're not going to really kill each other necessarily unless somebody makes a huge misstep. But all right, what are your thoughts on KOTL as a mid hero like in this patch? Obviously, just farms the crap out of the map as a whole, but it's not the most typical mid. It doesn't have a lot of mobility. It is fast on his camel. I
think it is very telling of the change in the way that professional players understand Dota, how they draft and what they prioritize. Right now, the ability to push waves and farm the map efficiently is huge. You know, we've had a lot more emphasis on like the macro element of Dota 2. So, end of the day, KOTL is going to farm a hell of a lot faster than almost any other hero. You can reduce cooldowns on your allies, which is going to be good conceptually because no other hero can replicate this. And find a way to make that work in your draft, right? The high damage helps. The fact that 3 nulls mean you immediately kill a creep wave from 100 to 0 is pretty nice.
Okay, tell me this thing, because this is the one thing I don't fully understand yet. When you pick KOTL, what makes you want to play at 1 as opposed to a 3 or even a 4, which still get a lot of farm in these games, right?
I think it's kind of complicated if you don't actually hear the team comms. It'll come down to who prefers it in a lot of ways, but it's also about crafting a lineup around it. So in this game, you have Tide and Void. You want this KOTL to be mid because he's going to provide a ton of damage throughout these big team fight controlling spells. You already have the catch, right? You need a hero that actually shoves waves because neither Void nor Tide have a ton of lane shove. Tide would prefer to just kind of chill by the Ancients. Void really slow until he comes online.
Okay.
And
yeah, so kind of like, it's almost like a Lina type, right? Just shove the waves early on, has burst damage, but a little bit different gameplay. Obviously gives you a lot different team fight in the mid game if you go for like an Aghanim Scepter or something like that, but we'll see what happens.
That's the thing, you can kind of buy whatever you want, right? But at the end of the day, it's just lane shove and global mobility. Like KOTL pops ult, blasts 1 wave, TP's next to bottom, and now he's in a team fight, but your top lane is 100% pushed into tower. It's just really nice to have.
So what constitutes a Dagon game? Because earlier in the tournament, we're seeing everybody do that, and lately, not so much.
Situational. The game that 9 revealed the mid KOTL, if I recall correctly, he was like massively ahead. So, you know, do you remember the days when 4-position Furion or mid Furion would go no boots into rush Dagon?
Is that when he goes into the jungle and just cliff jungles? Is that what they call it? The good old days, as they put it?
Keep away.
Yeah, that's classic. Legion's one of those heroes as well, of course. Really, really do miss those days.
Big fan of the build here on Whisper. I've been standing the press the attack for years. A lot of people are still putting too many points in overwhelming odds. The move speed does not increase based on extra levels. You just want a point at some point, but press the attack means you trade incredibly well, and Void can't really do much because time dilation removed.
Right. Yeah, that's definitely a big deal for sure. All right, so this is, of course, if you're just joining us, the lower bracket, T1 versus Beast Coast best of 3. Winner of this will face off PSG LGD, which obviously playing with Zhao as their mid, but it's not like he's played poorly, but obviously just doesn't feel like the same team that we're used to seeing. Is Whisper and company looking towards Whitemon here. Could be enough damage. Indeed it is with that Scatter Blast. Whisper actually gets credit for that one.
It's huge.
So first blood for Beast Coast.
A lot of damage.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Yeah, we'll see what interested to see how KARL plays, because normally we just see them go into the jungle. It's almost like a mimic mid with Magnus doing essentially the same thing, right?
And this is the difference. Like when 9 did this, he had like uncontested jungle for 7 or 8 minutes. In this game, Schofield, he knows what's up. He knows the way this game is played. He already places the ward, and he's going to at least steal XP off these stacks, likely try to contest them.
Yep, doing a decent job of that so far. Of course, this does take a away a little bit from the top lane. The question is, I guess Legion is perfectly fine soloing against a Faceless Void type, although Whitemon's in the vicinity as well. So we'll see how this matchup ends up working out, but it's all about that farm on that Keeper of the Light for sure.
Yeah, but all that XP was shared with the Snapfire, and Chris Luck's doing a good job just ensuring he gets max farm as well, cutting the wave, pushing, doing what he can to apply pressure whenever KARL moves into the jungle.
Oh, we're going to see the skewer into the RP with Schofield on the sideline. They don't have that much damage, but a lot of lockdown. Schofield taking most of the damage, in fact, is KARL turning it around with the help of Mr. Zephyr. And that means the Snapfire does take a fall. They actually used a lot of spells, and KARL's still really healthy.
Yeah. Surprisingly tanky. That's the triple null effect.
Yeah.
Right? It is primarily for your spell amp, but still nice strength addition.
Yeah, for Chris Luck, I mean, obviously we've seen Empower used to help the Magnus farm the jungle. It's going to help Slark farm the Ancients at some point in the game as well. Interested to see, it's not that important, but the 10 talent was changed, the 10-second Empower duration, and I think Empower was nerfed as well to make up for it. But
yeah, well, what's funny is it's actually a buff to Empower if you take the talent. Like
it's 5 seconds extra now.
Yeah, it was, well, it's 5 seconds off normally, but then you would add 10 back. So yeah.
We'll see if he takes that one. Schofield getting chased a bit here by KARL, who's sick and tired of his shenanigans. One more right click will do it, and down he goes. Gets off the ward, though.
The blast change, like, it's just insane how much damage this ability does.
Yeah. It turns KOTL into easy mode, for sure.
Not quite easy mode, but, you know, a 3-second channel certainly makes it easier to, like, hit the spell properly, right? Because it's the same timing all game. It's just the damage. That is a really nice item to grab on a KOTL.
Yeah, if he continues to be this strong, I wouldn't be surprised if AUI comes out of retirement. This was his hero back in the EG days. Would just sit in the jungle as position 4, and was definitely not as good as is now.
It's going to be tough for Beast Coast to hunt KARL in this game. They kind of use their one shot to dive in middle, but outside of their 5-position Pango, nobody's really great at rolling. Yeah, he's just dead.
KARL's got his Illuminate coming through. It's going to end up being a pretty easy kill, but there is the cookie. Time dilation to follow, though. Whisper. Oh, he does get clipped, actually. Just on the side for another Illuminate from KARL.
Yeah, and that's where I think KOTL core with a hero like Void, and when Tundra did it was with Wraith King. You know, these heroes that don't farm quite so fast, they want, you know, they'll win in the late game, right? 4 or 5 items in, they're pretty much top dog, but they need that bit of damage assist in the early game and somebody to clear waves in jungle, and KARL does exactly that. So if you're Void, you're comfortable, you're chilling, you know, just sit in the safe lane, no big deal. You want to extend this laning phase.
We have a pig pull sighting, by the way, Kyle. For those that are wondering, Kyle's actually made a request to make sure that I bring that up every single time that it does pop up into the game. Very important item, of course. Cuckoo completely out of mana in this bot lane, but looking like he's going for the typical hood. At least has the Ring of Health very soon. And I mean, pretty much every game there's a Legion commander, you're just waiting for the blink. So 800 gold in the bank for Whisper right now. And once that blink comes online, we'll see if they're able to do something with it.
Yeah, I like this from T1, though. It looks like Disruptor on Zephyr. He's going to be building a Veil. Just so good. I think the item is very underutilized right now in Dota. 18% spell damage, not just magic damage, all spells. And when you have a hero like KOTL, like... it's a lot of damage, and I like this decision too. If there were a game for Dagon, this is it. It's 9 minutes in, right? You've got triple null, fairy trinket, you're huge.
Oh my God. Stinger, yeah, I mean, it is a support Pango, but ain't getting out of that. One Illuminate basically took 80% of his HP.
This is the snowball, and it's very nice in this game, especially with the Chronosphere. You know, killing Slark just will come down to hit a Chrono, or Ravage, or Disruptor ult, and KOTL damage, and that'll be plenty. You have actually 3 heroes that can all set up for a full blast.
Yeah, that's definitely true. They do have very good team fight overall. I mean, you could just look at their lineup on paper, mid to late game, if we're going to see the Static Storm into the Ravage, and that is a dead position 1 Slark for Mr. K1. KARL in the vicinity as well, so I think he's been a part of basically every kill. 4 out of 5, close enough, 80%.
Good lord, he's going to have a Dagon. Well, it's time. You know, Beast Coast, end of the day,
Radiant's bottom tower
it's more
is under
about
attack.
skirmishing and getting their Slark ahead. The trouble is their Slark is real behind at the moment. The matchup against Void used to be terrible because he could just like leap your leash. So now you have this ability to offensively hunt him, but you still have to favor Void throughout the game.
Is he actually dead here?
yeah.
Solar, but it's such a sad death, just like in slow motion. He knows what's coming, but can't do anything about it.
And this is the other thing about KARL KOTL is like you get this huge level advantage. In a game like this, I think it's kind of necessary. The solar bind, like it's just so much damage.
Yeah,
Suns fan.
And with that boost to travel, he's again just a part of basically every single kill. Double kill across the map for KARL, and into the jungle he goes. Dagon on its way.
Yeah.
So do you upgrade the Dagon, or do you start going for something else before doing that? Because it's not the most efficient upgrades.
No, I think in this game you might want a Force Staff at some point just to deal with the Pango, the Slark Pounce.
I think we're going to watch the slow motion death here. That was a baby swash. That's what killed him.
A very ill-advised swashbuckle, indeed.
We're going to watch this in ultra slow motion, so you can feel the pain of Stinger. And the joy from
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
No, this, I will say, it just doesn't feel
no,
fair.
is this a replay, or I guess this is a different kill? All right, KARL is absolutely crushing right now. Man, it must be really fun to play KARL right.
It looked up. We got an egg, we got a chrono, whisper,
And
nice
the
bash.
is there. Egg does pop
So
just in range.
You can see,
Okay, this would be a huge kill. Oh, RP not quite in range.
too fast.
Yeah, the old man's too fast indeed.
So you can see why this is a great mid-KATL game. That was the first time Tide left his lane. Void hasn't left his lane. They're just sitting on their towers, and it's so difficult to make moves into Ravage and Chronosphere, right? And then KARL, he's free to TP. Rock mid, drop a Q, that wave's push, tower secure. He can go jungle. If any action happens in a side lane, he TPs in to Blast and Dagon. So T1, they're just chilling. Like this laning phase, we're approaching 15 minutes, and we're still in the laning phase.
Yeah.
That is not the kind of game that Beast Coast want to play.
Oh, Lord. This does not feel like Dota, I'm not going to lie. This, I feel like KATL can be picked mid every game.
Situational.
What do you think enables it specifically, like from the other side of the lineup, from Beast Coast?
Tower is under attack.
Like, why did it make it a good mid specific?
Magnus can't really pressure the hero. You're trying to do what KATL does. KATL just does it a lot better.
Yeah.
And both Slark and LC require items to be able to initiate.
I mean, Chris
Pango
is
needs
farming
level 6.
great, but it's a 2,500 gold discrepancy right now. As you can see the glimpse, but they get the skewer off into the duel. That's going to be the first victory of the game for Whisper. And Stinger, I believe that is the first Rolling Thunder of the game as well. 23 Savage comes to play as well. No Chronosphere, though, for another 70 seconds. KARL getting caught a little bit by Stinger, but Stinger, I should say, is all by his lonesome. The solar bind there. Unable to connect on the Illuminate, but looks like this is going to be yet another slow death for Stinger.
A bit of an over-rotation, to be honest, from T1, but don't think they mind. You can see that right there. Beast Coast, Pango level 6 was actually their critical timing. And unfortunately, when the laning phase takes this long, there's just no real way for him to pick up extra XP, so we needed Tome to even get close.
Yeah.
And, you know, not out of it. That was the blink reveal on Mag, though. They do get the one kill, a dual victory. There's the Veil.
Do you think this is a game, this is going to sound like a weird question, but since we did talk about Legion already, is dual damage important this game?
There it goes.
It always is, but not really, unless he can get to a point he can solo kill KATL.
Well, Schofield dead again. Okay, well that, I believe, is a blink dagger now, picked up by the keeper of the light player, KARL. As you can see, a glimpse, Whisper inside the kinetic field. Press the attack, attempting to TP out, but the Ravage is there just in time. And KARL, yes indeed, he gets another double kill across the map. The second of the game.
I mean, this hero, think about last patch, right? Bots heroes mid, very good. Can push lanes, very good. And in this case, you know, with the blink build, the Dagon, he effectively just represents magical damage on demand. It's like a Zeus that pushes lanes, has like chakra magic also, you know. If you consider the strength of Dota heroes primarily based on their ability to farm gold and turn that into items that make their hero more powerful, KARL can do that without buying any mana regeneration, right? Lina would have to, you know, get Void Stone or go back to base. KATL never goes back to base.
All right, well, there is a Mortimer's Kisses coming through. Looks like Zephyr's going to take the worst of it here. Still alive, though, as an RP onto 2. No Ravage to work with. Illuminate comes in with the cookie as well. Chris Luck attempting to get out of dodge, but it's not to be. And there's a big Chronosphere on several teammates, but more importantly, 2 enemies. And that turns into a double kill for 23 Savage. A 3 for nothing. As Stinger, I feel like we've seen this 10 times this game. Attempting to TP out. And all right, that's a new one. That's a new page in the book.
And I go back into the draft. Gotta say, you know, Effie Dota the Prophet. Second pick's better, but first pick can just take KOTL.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I'm guessing Clinks was one of the bands. I didn't get to see the earlier portion of the draft, but these 2 heroes just seem to be on another level.
Yeah,
for the most part, depending on the game state to some degree. But yep, KARL is actually going for the upgrade of Dagon. So Dagon number 2 online. This, I believe, is still the most expensive item in the entire game. The old Abyssal, I think, had its time in the sun for a little bit, but no more.
I mean, he's rocking 14% spell amplification.
I mean, how much different? The Null Talisman, the fact that it does that and you can clear an entire wave makes this like really, really good.
I think we talked about this last cast. It's just the best of the 3 build-up items.
Coming in. No, that's going to be a Phoenix kill. That's a nice pickup for Beast Coast. Second dual victory of the game. 20 damage to boot. Stinger gets the Rolling Thunder off. Looking for something. All right, gets the shield crash with that slow. Something I've yet to talk about. Okay, Static Storm is there for Zephyr. Glimpse back. Not going to save his life. So it's a 2-for-0 in Beast Coast's favor. They've expended quite a few spells here, and KARL is still in the vicinity. Chris Luck.
Oh my god.
All right, the burst damage just out of control for KARL. And he is super fast as well. K1 on the sidelines with that Shadow Dance, trying to apply all the pressure to KARL that he can. Actually gets the pounce up for a moment. Stinger still taking some damage, but looks like he'll walk it off. In the meantime, 23 Savage starting to clean up here. 2 dead for Beast Coast. Will be 3 very shortly as Stinger takes the fall.
He is legitimately playing these team fights like he's Gandalf with impenetrable plot armor. Like, just running throughout the engagement. Bear in mind, like, Beast Coast aren't out of this. The one thing about, like, he's so squishy, he will die.
Yeah.
The trouble is, like, KOTL, he gets you to this point. He wins you this early to mid-game portion, extends the laning phase, etc., etc. But yeah, 23 Savage, it's this guy that will actually take the reins at some point. Problem with Beast Coast is, like, when you fall behind like this, it feels like you're stuck farming waves the entire game, because KOTL is more than capable of shoving 2 waves at all times. And it's hard for you to make moves. It's hard for you to find the KOTL when he's just everywhere on the map.
Dagon 3 now online. And no, you're exactly right. Like, it's a 4K net worth lead just for KOTL alone, as Chris Luck's going to get glimpsed back into the river. Chronosphere on top of him and the Pango. They'll take 1 for the road. Stinger still inside Rolling Thunder, attempting to TP out.
Oh, the bash.
Oh, no bash this time. But still 8K net worth lead for T1 at 18 minutes. This is a stomp and a half so far. But like you said, the fact that KOTL is owning, obviously it's gonna taper off a bit, but it's created so much space for 23 seconds. I mean, if you're second in net worth as a Void in a game like this, you're very happy.
What is this? What is this?
That's a glimpse. Oh, trying to get out, but there's the Ravage into yet another kill for KARL. 11, 0, and 7. 18 of the 21 kills he has been a part of.
And they're playing incredibly well. That last pick Disruptor is so clutch. You can see, you know, the one thing about KOTL, you don't have that catch factor, but every glimpse is a free kill in a game like this.
You can see he's been basically all over the map here.
It's a lot of fun to watch, though. Like, I'd much prefer this than, you know, some mid-sniper, right?
True. Yeah, there's definitely been...
is not nearly as...
I mean, I'm not upset. I mean, it's only been like a week, but I'm not upset about KOTL right now. Could obviously use a little bit of tuning, but it is fun. You're right. Anything with burst damage is going to be fun to watch.
Yeah.
Probably not fun to play against, though.
No.
I can imagine. As we're going to see Whitemon impact move with the pig pull. Thank you, production. Beautiful. Look at that move speed in the river. If it was Slardar, he'd be speeding down the lane. My goodness. What a play by Whitemon. Thank you. MVP so far this game. Forget about the KOTL. All right, K1. Oh, Lord. Oh, not quite enough damage. He's in Shadow Dance. Nice job by Cuckoo trying to block, but it's not going to be enough. And you can see that a Rolling Thunder was used just to try to protect his cuddly little teammate, as we see the Echo Saber now picked up by Chris Luck. So Blink Echo, and that's the hilarious thing is he started off the game fine. It's just the discrepancy between him and KARL is just not remotely close. He's going to get glimpsed back into the river. 23 Savage getting protected by the egg. We see Mortimer's kisses on the sideline. Not really going to connect on much as Dagon. Another kill onto Stinger. And that is a Dagon 5, I believe. Yes. Wow. Fully upgraded.
You don't see
now
that
what's
every day.
Is E-Blade on the menu? Is that a thing?
Maybe Octarine.
Okay. Well, Octarine...
More absurd cast range.
It doesn't stack anymore, though, right? With the chakra?
It does. No, because chakra lowers like the cooldown on your existing spell.
Amount.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
so it would work.
RP onto 2. Got the Sunray coming through as well. Chris puts him in the vicinity of the tier 2. The Chronosphere now to follow from 23 Savage. Just cleaning up onto Schofield. Gets 2. But it is a 2 for 2 in the end of the day as T1 is now on the retreat. K1 really wants this kill on Faceless Void. But with KARL, still has that Illuminate. Doesn't look like it's going to connect on much, and 23 Savage is going to get dueled. This would be an enormous kill, but there's a Ravage to try and protect his life. Looks like he's going to live through this, but there's the Pounce again, keeping him in place, and K1 getting a much-needed kill there. Trying to turn this back around onto Tidehunter. This is a pretty big fight for Beast that can continue, but yeah, KARL is still here. Stinger lives for just a little bit longer, but KARL, again, a kill. 14-0. They can't kill KOTL.
I will say, though, I can't believe he survived. I'm not quite sure. He, like, blinked out mid-fight. A slight mistake there, though, from KARL. That blast that had come right after the duel on Void, he pre-clicked it. Like, that was only a 1-second channel. If it's full, it definitely kills the Slark. But either way, I think actually a surprisingly good fight for Beast Coast, considering T1 used all their big spells. And yeah, it's been a rough game thus far, but eventually you have BKBs. KOTL doesn't do anything to BKBs. He is level 20 though, at 22 minutes in, but you know, end of the day, he represents just straight up magical burst damage. And at a point, if Slark has it queued up, Magnus has it queued up, LC, they all know what the answer is.
Yeah.
And T1, other than Chrono, nothing to really deal with mass BKB. That is just going to go for KARL.
Now, the question is, how farmed is Zephyr? Okay, looks like he is not going... Okay, I thought he might go for Aghanim Scepter this game, but he's not... I mean, he's decently farmed for a support. But Ags would be a good answer for the BKBs in the later game if you can get that off beforehand. But yeah, that's going to be a huge power spike for Beast Coast once these BKBs come online. And like you said, only answer is 23 Savage's Chronosphere, which they don't have the best. I mean, I guess with KOTL on the outside, you have enough magic damage to do whatever you want in the Chrono, along with Static Storm. So they do have really good wombo combos.
Yeah. If this wasn't a Magnus mid, it would be a really rough game for Beast Coast. But you got to keep in mind that Empower represents like an extra item on any of the cores on Beast Coast, specifically the Slark, of course. So you're able to keep up a bit in the farming speed, but later on in the game, you can afford to go these earlier BKBs because you have that damage steroid. And ults are back up, and T1 looking ready to rumble. No E-Blade yet, but...
Yeah, but he's definitely working. I mean, that's like 2 minutes away at this GPM. But yeah, smoke comes through. Chronosphere is up. Ravage is about to come up as well. So they're able to get an execution here. But there's going to be a couple BKBs. Slark and Legion both now have BKBs. That is going to be very big. But the Chrono with the Sunray. Did he get the Shadow Dance off?
They did.
I believe so. And now he gets the BKB up. So all these spells completely wasted for T1. Okay. They might just want to back. And, I mean, for a BKB charge, I think if you're Beast Coast, you'll take it if you can take advantage of a fight that's coming.
Hector just kind of chuckling. Like, he's gone... He's played, you know, innumerable ups. That's like his bread and butter. Like, hey, they're going to try to kill me, but I'll be faster than they are. And then giggle at them as I run away. So, yeah, counter smoke. You traded a BKB for Chrono.
Oh, that is an Aghanim Scepter from afar from Mr. Snapfire. Beautifully done, and Tidehunter is taking the brunt of this damage. Oh, he gets the Ravage off. He's actually surviving. Whisper has to pop the BKB and retreat. And K1 attempting to get out as well. Inside his Shadow Dance, RP to save his life. Just on the KARL, back into the fray for K1. And look at the damage now. Chris Luck and company. 23 Savage basically gets all his HP back though. Now Chris Luck inside the kinetic field is going to get bashed down by 23 Savage. This looks so good for Beast Coast. So good. But they're going to lose 4 instead. Oh my goodness.
God. How did they win that fight on T1? Like, that was the dream opportunity. I'm like, KARL's 100% dead. He just takes on the Slark and runs away. Oh, we got to see that back, but how?
Yeah, that was, but alas, it was not enough. Now 23 Savage has an Aegis to work with. 9K network lead here for T1, and he's almost done with his BKB, which will help quite a bit.
We'll see this like
there's the initiation.
The sound cue so good. They get the hood off, and then
I cannot believe Tide survives though.
Yeah,
that's insane.
Just the immediate Ravage. Okay, Whisper BKBs. I think if he maybe does that before the duel, this could go a bit better for them. Oof. The RP, and like Slark's gonna turn K1. It's like, it looks so good. Yeah, a huge cookie, and then like
there it goes.
It could have been salvaged if 23 Savage just took a little bit more damage there, but 2,200 damage in the fight for KARL. That's par for the course.
Yeah, you can see there was like a smile. It's like, it feels so good. And once you see that cookie, you've got to feel like, okay, both these guys are dead. This is the moment. We're turning it around.
Yeah.
And then just blast it off the map. Now an E-Blade. Gracious.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So that damage is going to get more and more crazy. But of course, they do have the BKBs. But then again, anybody that's dueled can be E-bladed. And considering KARL's positioning, he hasn't really been a dual target at all. Like, he's always in the back, but you can always save whoever the dual target is. So
yeah,
very good pickup for a multitude of reasons.
I mean, well, this game's simplified a bit for Beast Coast. Kill KARL.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. And he's going for an Aeon Disc next, so understands that he's not going to be invulnerable forever. 15, 0, and 11. Will he have a death this game, Kyle? What's your prediction?
Radiant's
we'll see.
Tower is under attack.
I don't know anymore.
Good prediction.
Radiant are scanning.
I'm going to say yes.
Dyer's
if you'd like to take yes.
I don't actually know. I don't think so. Because he would have to make a mistake, right?
Bottom tower has fallen.
I feel like as the game's going to go like another 10 minutes, probably. Yep. It just takes one RP. Yep. But we'll see. 23 Savage in the mid lane now. And he is starting to get more and more farm. He's going to see the Chronosphere on his teammate. That is KARL. He's going to get...
gobbled him.
Okay, nice gobble from Schofield. Gets the cookie up. Can't get to the high ground, though. So down he goes, but at least he saves his teammate. Now 23 Savage pursuing even further. Has the S&Y Maelstrom. He's not... doesn't have a ridiculous amount of damage so far, but he doesn't really need it. Double kill for KARL. Just continue to steal kills. 23 Savage would probably have an extra item if he wasn't taking all these kills from him.
I love the that mechanic, like the Pudge Shard and it's just so cool.
Yeah, Zephyr gets off the static storm, but there's the BKB, and K1 will just get out safely. The Pudge Shard, the only thing that bothers me is that it's not obvious it's happened. Like, it needs like a particle or some sort of like a sound effect or anything. Okay, Illuminate plus Dagon on a solar-bound veiled E-bladed target is a total of how much damage? I'll go with C.
Not counting the E-blade?
I'll go with C. E-bladed target.
Okay.
3-2-2-2 is just too perfect, so I can't go with that. Chris Luck. All right, we're seeing the E-blade come into action. Okay, that was...
It's I think it's B, but it could be C.
All right, we'll see very shortly. Whisper getting chased by 23 Savage, but there's the shard that you were talking about. 23 Savage has his as well, so has the reverse time walk and the extra range on time walk itself.
Yeah.
That'll provide him a lot better opportunity to kind of go in and out. He's going to get bashed, though, into the pounce. All right, he's actually taking heavy damage, but back he goes. K1 already uses his ultimate. 23 Savage jumps in. Does not have Chrono, though. There's the Ravage, and Slark is just dead. The beginning of the fight. Goodness gracious. Beast Coast falling apart now. 12K network lead for T1. You might be right on the no KARL death after that one.
That was very odd. He didn't have VKB, so
Yeah, he used it to get away from the top.
yeah, as soon as he gets glimpsed, he's just dead. Ector just playing with a little too much bravado considering the state of the game, and
Radiant's
likely
middle
opens up
tower is under attack.
the racks.
That's a nice skewer into the tier 3, but a lot of the damage mitigated again. And here comes Karl from afar, doing so much magic damage, taking another kill for himself, double for Karl,
Dire's
and he
bottom
is
tower
just
under
on an
attack.
absolute godlike streak.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
Old man C is correct. All right. Amplified by 83%. That is that's pretty disgusting.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Quite a bit. So this is going to be a full set of racks in the mid lane.
Radiant's middle barracks.
They cannot go for megas as the top lane still has a tier 1, but they could go for this bot racks if they choose to do so.
I will say, you just don't see this very often, right? Like,
Karl gets another kill, by the way.
Dire's
you know,
bottom tower is under attack.
what other hero in like Dota history did this sort of thing?
Yeah, like
it's like
21-0.
like the Quap dominance of way back in the day, like maybe a Tinker with the who's just taken over.
In a pro match?
Radiant's bottom tower has
Like,
fallen.
not even has this. Obviously, mid players have dominated before, but like
Like,
in this manner, like I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
blasting you off the map, killing you. Like, what heroes have done this?
nothing comes to... I'm sure there's something, but
I guess
nothing
in
comes to mind.
Vulture with the.
Oh, we have the Chrono. There's the Illuminate, the BKB. That's from the Shard from the press the attack, but Slark is dead again. No buyback to speak of. We have the duel coming out. Looks like we'll find one kill onto Zephyr, but the Dagon Express is here for Karl. Continuing to rack up those kills and, well, kill the racks as well.
Radiant's bottom
They could
barracks are
probably
under
just go for the Ancient, as GGs are just called, actually. So,
Yeah.
an absolute stomp from T1, and Karl did not die. I believe 21 kills is 22 kills, something. A 20 bomb, as the Counter-Strike guys would say.
T1 fans rejoice. You know, the dawn of the 7th day. Karl arrives and